Oh, oh, oh. Hello, boys and girls. You're back quicker than what I expected. Whew. Get a bit tired of my old age now. Oh, I was out planting my roses earlier, then it started raining, so I thought I'd come in and just have a cup of tea and just have a bit of a quiet time. Sorry about that. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Chapter 46, Burned Moustache. Let's see how we go here, boys and girls. We're getting to the end, not long to go. Whew. Excuse me, I just need to use the convenience, announced Miss Trifle just at that moment. As she spoke, she strode in through the front door behind Grandpa and Jack. Instead of escaping over the wall with all the other inmates, it seemed the old lady had done a U-turn and waltzed straight back into Twilight Towers in search of the loo. This was certainly not part of the plan, but it proved an excellent diversion just when Jack and his grandfather desperately needed one. Miss Swine turned her head to see Miss Trifle breeze through the front door, with Matron's cattle prod inches from his face. Grandpa seized the opportunity and grabbed the woman's wrist. For a moment, the two were locked in a silent wrestle. The lady was much stronger than the old man could ever have imagined, and the end of the prod moved closer and closer to his face. Suddenly, a bolt of electricity shot out. Zap! It burned one end of the moustache off. In a fizzle of flames, a small plume of grey smoke rose past Grandpa's eyes. He looked down at his once magnificent facial hair. Now, one side was nothing more than a blackened tip, like a sausage that had been left on the barbecue for 100 years. Now, Jim knows about that, I can tell you, boys and girls. The blackened tip then crumbled and fell to the floor as dust. Ever since he was a young man, Grandpa had prided himself on looking immaculate, even in a nurse's uniform. But the double-breasted blazer with polished gold buttons, the rough tie, the neatly pressed grey slacks, all amounted to nothing if his moustache wasn't perfectly twizzled. For Grandpa, for one end of his moustache to be burned off was treason. The fury he felt gave the old man an almost superhuman surge of strength. He forced the woman's arm back towards her. "Squadron leader, grab the bedpan, quick!" he ordered. Jack picked up the porcelain pot from the floor and in his confusion went to offer it to Mrs. Trifle. "Oh, thank you, dear," said the old lady. "It's not ideal, but if I can aim straight, I can make do." "No, squadron leader, use it on the commandant." Matron spun around just as the boy lifted the bedpan above his head and crashed it down on hers. Smash! The pot exploded into hundreds and thousands of tiny pieces. "Well, thank you very much," complained Mrs. Trifle. "I was all ready to go." The three looked down at the evil woman now lying on the carpet, spread out like a starfish. "There's no time to lose," barked Grandpa. "Can I please just have my tinkle?" demanded Mrs. Trifle. "Trifle, pull yourself together, woman. It will have to wait," Grandpa ordered. "You can't wait when you're my age," huffed the elderly lady. "When you need to go, you need to go. Now please escort me. I thought you were a gentleman." "I am a gentleman," exclaimed Grandpa, though his gentlemanliness was being tested to the limit. "Then why are you dressed like that?" the old lady inquired. "It's all part of the escape plan," snapped Grandpa. "Now please, madam, there is no time to lose. Take my arm." "Oh, thank you, Wing Commander. My poor, what is the polite word?" She pointed towards her behind. "Bottom," ventured Grandpa. "No," said Mrs. Trifle. "Bum," said the boy cheekily. "No." Mrs. Trifle was quite cross now. "I am, my lady. I was going to say posterior. My poor posterior is awfully sore after that fall. I could hardly walk in a straight line. With her arm in his, Grandpa gallantly accompanied the elderly lady down the long corridor, round the corner to the nearest lavatory. Oh, what a gentleman! I feel like a debutante at her first society ball, blushed Miss Trifle. Squadron leader, called out Grandpa. Yes, sir. You keep an eye on the commandant. Yes, sir, replied the boy with a smile. Although shaking with nerves, he was rather pleased with himself to have been the one to deliver the knockout blow to the evil Miss Swine. Jack peered down at her. The face looked strangely familiar with those little eyes and upturned nose. But before Jack had time to think about where he might have seen her before, Miss Swine began to flicker back to life. The bedpan had knocked her out all right, but now she was slowly coming to. First her fingers began to twitch, and then her eyes began to blink. The boy felt a deep sense of dread. My goodness, boys and girls, what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to get out? I'm getting so anxious for them all. I think it's cup of tea time again. Oh, you know I love my cup of tea, and do you know what? I'd make myself a cup of tea and a nice sandwich. We'll see you later, boys and girls. Jimmy, where are you? Jimmy, there you are, love. Thank you. Bye.